All right, y'all. I didn't really want to make this video. I wasn't planning on making this video, but there's some things that I just have to get off of my chest and I have to share regarding this situation. Now, I recognize that not everything that I have to say is wise or beneficial. And for that reason, and also just for the sake of respecting a family who just lost a wife, a mother, a daughter, a best friend, I really want to tread lightly and I want to have the most respect that I can during this situation and during a very sensitive time for a lot of people, you know. But with that being said, there is some things that I just have to say that have been on my mind, on my spirit, and things that I have to share. And that's what I'm going to be doing right now in this video. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about the situation that I'm about to get into, there was a very tragic passing that took place where, and this is, I'm not even going to get into speculation. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of different narratives that are floating around. I'm not going to get into the speculation, but long story short, this woman that you're looking at on your screen, she goes by Miss Jackie O. She lost her life. I think it was just last week, if not maybe, you know, a couple weeks ago. And she leaves behind 3 children and also her husband or fiance. I'm not sure what the dynamic was, but definitely significant other that she left behind in this situation. Now, I want to show you a clip that came out recently. And this is from the memorial service that took place. And I have a lot of thoughts about this memorial service in general, but I did want to share this clip with you just to give you some more context, because as I was following this story more and more on social media, there was something that kept coming up, and that was God, Jesus Christ, and faith, and how important it is to have a relationship with God. And I found that to be very, very interesting during this whole, you know, situation that took place. So I want to share this with you, and then I want to share some thoughts about it. All right. So this is DC Young Fly. This is Miss Jackie O's, I believe, fiance or husband, significant other, sharing his thoughts at the memorial service.
Man, look, y'all was probably feeling for us and swearing that we didn't know what he was gonna do, his mind gone crazy. Listen, man, I've been dealing with trauma all my life, man. It just so happened this is new to me because I never had a rib to leave me. But I'm here to tell you as a firm believer, man, God makes no mistakes. Don't question nothing. Don't even question what we going through. Because we're going to go through it and get through it, because my God is going to give us the strength to get through it. You dig what I'm saying? But most importantly, that this entire family needs is prayer. Pray for us, man. Send good energy our way. This ain't hard, but it sure ain't easy. Dig what I'm saying? Because it ain't. It ain't. And for those who see me, y'all know I pray a lot. Because life is real. And if I didn't pray a lot, I wouldn't be able to deal with it. But I'm sitting here strong, and you know, chin up, chest out, that I'm straight. My kids, we good. Because like I said, we led by the Spirit and not by the flesh. Are we hurt? Yes. We're human. We got emotions. My children know God is real. Ain't that right, baby? Don't you know that? Don't you know we God fearing? Ain't mama with us? Ain't we gonna keep going? Know that. And I want everybody in here, if you don't take nothing from today, man, I don't care whatever you going through in life, listen, man, find your relationship with God. She had a beautiful soul. She was a great mother. I'm talking about super great mother. Super great mother. Super great mother. And we're going to continue that. We're going to continue that love. And if y'all ain't in that book, get in that book. Read Genesis. Understand the life of Joseph. Joseph gonna teach you some things. Because it don't matter wherever Joseph laid his feet, God made him in charge. And Jack, you know I love you, girl. You know. You know. But you know, we here, baby. We here. Like you said, it feel like a dream. Feel like a, feel like a fairy tale, but you know, hey man, this ain't no fairy tale. And if Joseph didn't complain, I won't either. I love y'all, appreciate y'all. And I seen every post, I seen every message, even though I ain't had the energy to text back, but look, that kept me up too. Just knowing that y'all knew I was God-fearing and y'all seen it early, so I say, so y'all be paying attention then. So you know it ain't me. And if you know I had God before, you think, what? What you think now? What? So when you see me, please understand, man. When you see me, please understand that it's not me. I don't have the energy or strength to deal with none of you. When you see me, when a smile is on my face and I'm kicking it and I'm happy, the higher power granted me the strength to continue to keep going. I love you, Jack. These kids are beautiful, man. God granted us strength to have 3. You know, I was trying to have 7 more. She gonna beat me up for that one. But I love you, girl. And I want our kids to understand that you had a beautiful soul. And you didn't leave us. You in heaven. Your spirit is with us. You still here. And we got an amazing support system. We got a beautiful support system. Because they came out. We love you. Everybody in here, keep God first. And always remember, listen, do not complain. You may have a valid reason to lose your mind, but that don't mean it's right. Because I got a valid reason to go buck wild, but that's not gonna get me and my children and my family nowhere. They gotta see the strength so it can be instilled in them. My kids got strength. That's why I'm able to stand today. My baby Nala looked at me and said, Daddy, what's wrong? I ain't even say nothing. She looked at me and said, don't worry. She don't even know what's going on. Nala came in and said, Nova came in and said, Daddy, I'm happy. The Spirit moved in me and said, man, if my children are happy, then I'm happy. And if they can do it, I can do it. And if Joseph can do it, we can do it. So keep God first, y'all. I love y'all.
So this was at the memorial service that just took place. I think it was actually just yesterday. And I'm conflicted. And the reason why I'm conflicted is because I never really understood why we make these things public. And I was even conflicted to share this message on this channel because I didn't want to amplify the message even more. And I didn't want to publicize the message even more because in my spirit, I'm conflicted as to whether or not we should even be making these sacred moments public. But at the same time, I thought that the message that he gave was a very beautiful message about faith and about keeping God first, even when you don't understand, even when hard times are happening or tragic events are happening, it's very easy for us to say, God, why did you allow this to happen? But the faithful thing to do is to say, God, I trust you no matter what. And I think that's the message that he portrayed during this speech. But at the same time, I'm conflicted, like I said, because at the end of the day, I feel like nothing is really sacred anymore in this world. Nothing is really sacred anymore. And let me give you a little bit of context. And I know I said I wasn't really going to get into all the speculation and the full story of, everything that people are alleging that took place. But let me just give you a little bit of context. So apparently she went out to have some type of cosmetic procedure done. And she flew to a different state to have this procedure done. And some days after the procedure, she ended up passing away. Now, I don't think anyone really knows for sure what the cause of the passing was, but obviously social media being social media, a lot of people speculated that it was as a result of the procedure that she had underwent. Once again, I don't know if that's the case or not. I'm just giving y'all some context. But one of the things that I saw that really, 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 really shook me up inside was yesterday I was on YouTube, and I don't know whose idea this was, and I don't know how y'all feel about this, but they were streaming the memorial service, or somehow the memorial service video from inside the memorial service was on YouTube, like the same day that it took place. And during the video that that I came across, there was an open casket viewing, and you could clearly see her body in the casket. Now, that was already, at that point, I was like, wow, this is a little too much. Because for me, I feel like the public should not be having access to these intimate moments that should only be reserved for very close friends and family. Because at the end of the day, who are we to them? We could say all day long, like, oh, we care and we have love for them and we're praying for them. But nobody really loves them as much as their family. Nobody really loves her, Miss Jackie O, as much as her children, as much as her mom, her dad, her friends, her family. And for us to have access to these intimate moments, it really made me question, is anything sacred nowadays? And the other thing that really tripped me out as I was watching yesterday, there was a moment where DC took one of their children, because they have 3 children. I think all 3 children are like under the age of 7. And I think 2 of the children are under the age of like 4. So they're really young. And I think he had the one of the youngest children in his arms, and he was showing, I believe his son, his mom laying in the casket. And this is all on YouTube. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow, this is the last moments that these small children are having with their mother, because they don't know what's going on. You can't tell me that a child under the age of 7 fully understands what is happening. They just see their mom lying down, seemingly asleep, and they're trying to make sense of that, not understanding that this is going to be the last time that they physically see their mother. And I'm just thinking about all this, and now I'm thinking, and I'm looking at myself, and I'm saying, why do I even have access to this moment? Why is it that a bunch of strangers have access to this moment? Why is that their children are going to go on to YouTube years later and be able to search up and see this moment open to the public on YouTube? And it really troubled me in my spirit. And I even feel weird making this video and even talking about it, but I just wanted to speak about it. Now, a couple more things that I want to share that may or may not be perceived as being controversial. So I'm going to try to tread lightly because, once again, I just want to be respectful because I know this is a very sensitive time for their family. Let me read this post. This is a post that DC posted. Let me read this to you. It says, I wasn't in no rush to post this because I wanted it to be a dream so bad, but every hour I'm reminded of reality. So I want to make sure I applaud you in the proper manner. You are the greatest mother I know. Your soul was beautiful. You always wanted the best for others. And I admired how our family loved each other. I never had to worry about our kids loving each other because you were on top of that. You know, we God-fearing and we are grounded by the Spirit. We never question the higher power. We roll with the punches and continue to live righteous. We'll always tell our kids how much of an amazing person you were, especially a great mother. You know how our last conversation went. I prayed for you and now we are here. But it's okay. We will continue to pray and hold on to our faith because that's all we know. Love you forever, and our kids are super strong. They helping me with my tranquility, no cap. You with me forever. The queen of my children will always have a spot in my heart and the paradise. Love you forever. Just know we going harder than ever, and God is in control. He's got us covered. So that was DC, but also there's one more post that I want to read by one of her good friends, B. Simone. It says, she said that, God, you are a provider. Although we don't understand right now, I truly know you will provide everything her children need, her family needs, her friends need now and forever, from peace of mind to clarity. I truly believe in the name of Jesus. We need you, Lord, and I know you are there. Even during the darkest time, I will praise you and thank you in advance for the miracles and peace that is coming. You are worthy of the praise. Thank you for allowing me to experience Jackie, and I thank you for her life. Jesus. She said something, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but she said something that really hit me. She said something along the lines of, and I can't find it right now, but she said something along the lines of, you know, Jackie was getting closer and closer to Jesus. And it's just so interesting how now she's gone. And she was drawing so close to Jesus, and now she's gone. And, you know, my prayer is that she's in heaven. And that's my prayer for everybody watching. My prayer is that you know Jesus, and that you make it to heaven, and that you share the good news with other people. Something I'm just thinking is, like, you know, you never know when your last breath is going to be. And that goes for everybody around you. You never know when your wife or your husband's last breath is going to be, or your best friend, or your children even. You never know. We just never know. We live in such a fragile world. We live in a world that is full of sin, and bad things happen. Not because God wants bad things to happen, but because we live in a fallen world that is full of sin, and we're going to experience tragedy. And knowing that, as believers, our number one goal should be to share the gospel and to be representations of Christ in everything that we do, no matter how big or how small. And one thing that I'm thinking is, you know, people hear what we say, but they listen to what we do, because our actions speak louder than our words, especially as Christians, especially as believers. We have a microscope on our life, because people can hear Christians talk all day long, but at the end of the day, talk is cheap. What are you actually doing? How are you actually living on a day-to-day basis? What example are you setting for your family? What type of spouse are you? What type of friend are you? What type of example are you? What impact are you having in your community? And I think it's so important as believers And this is not a personal shot at anybody specifically. I'm just speaking here. It's so important as believers that we live out what we preach. Because oftentimes I feel like it's very easy for us to write a caption. And once again, this is not a shot at anybody. I'm just thinking it's very easy for us to post a picture, write a caption talking about Jesus, talking about God. But then in the next post, we're doing something crazy, or we're saying something wild, or we're out just doing something that is unholy. And I understand that we all have a different process, and sanctification is a process, and it's an individual process between you and Jesus. I understand that. But also we have to be mindful of other people's perception, because other people all around us who may not believe in Jesus are looking at us, and they're trying to judge our walk and how we live and move and talk as a Christian and act as a Christian. And they're looking at all of those things, and they're making their own calculations as to whether or not they want to believe in God or not, based on how we live and what we do. And like I said, we never know when our last breath is going to be, or when our wife's last breath is going to be, or our husband, or our children, or our friends, or our mom, or our dad, or our coworkers, or anybody around us. So we need to treat every opportunity and everything that we do as a form of worship to God, in order to glorify Him and to bring people closer to Him. Because I can't help but think, if something like that were to happen to my family or to somebody that I know personally, and I would just hope that they're good with God, and I would just hope that they're in heaven and that they're in a better place, you know? In all honesty, and, you know, all transparency, my deepest condolences go out to their family. I pray that Jesus, you protect them, that you give them peace, that you give them clarity, and that ultimately you just comfort them, especially the children. I pray that you comfort them and that you are just there for them, Jesus, and that you just be that shoulder that they can lean on right now in this moment. Yeah, you know, I know there's a lot of other narratives that are flying around. I'm not going to speak on that because I'm not interested in that. You know, these children just lost their mom. A husband just lost his wife. I'm not going to speak on the other stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like this video, subscribe if you have not already. I'm out.